Alright, this is build video 7. It's been almost 2 months since I made a video, I think. The motor is in the car. I actually drove it here. We're no longer at the shop. We are in my garage now. So, just kind of very confined space. Don't have much room to move around. The entire space of what I have to work is like right there. It's about where we're at. I did drive the car here, non-turbo with just stock exhaust stuck on it. I did have a couple misfire problems. I haven't tracked that down yet, but it ran great for probably about 10 or 12 miles, and then about 15 into it, it started misfiring. So I'm going to attribute that probably to some super cold spark plugs and running low compression engine. So right now I've pretty much just got the engine back tore apart. I just got the radiator mounts made for the new radiator. This is not a TT radiator. This is just I actually picked this up at a swap meet. It's got like the full-size domestic radiator cap that goes on it. But it does have same location hoses. It's too dark down there to tell. So I've got, so far, the closest hose I could find for the top is this one here. As you can tell, that's actually a really radical bend. It's fortunate that I work at a parts store, otherwise I wouldn't have time to look through all these parts like this. It took me probably 2 or 3 tries to order hoses to find that one. Luckily, I've documented all the part numbers, so if I ever have to buy replacement parts, it's not going to be impossible to find them again. And then for the turbo, I'm working on building a mount right now, so it's kind of held in place by moving the center support piece that was bolted here that goes straight down to the lower radiator support there. I kind of just bent it off to the side and stuck it there so I could bolt the turbo to it. It moves around. It's just there for mock-up purposes so I can get this exhaust routed. But the oil pump, it's really hard to tell. I don't have much light in here. The oil pump's located right here, and it's just a SureFlow reservoir pump. I've already got the return line routed to the pump. Out of the pump, it goes up, around, under the headlight, comes out over right here, runs up next to it. And for now, I'm just going to route it back into the oil cap. I'll probably be putting a hole in probably the exhaust valve cover for a return line, just so it doesn't look gaudy bolted to this for now. But as for now, to get it running and get it tuned, I'll probably just do that, and then I'll kind of fine tune it from there to get it a lot better quality. Tuning. I am using Niztune. I ordered my Type 3 daughter board the other day. I got to ship my computer out this morning, actually. It's payday Friday. As you can tell, this is, obviously an expensive build. Well, in comparison to a Honda, it's an expensive build. This is more like a really cheap 300ZX build. I've probably got, I don't know, $900, $1,000 tied up in the whole thing. Well, we'll say $1,500 counting the Niztune, but that's like half of the build there. $600 on Niztune. So the turbo that's in here right now is actually just a CT26. It's a 7M GTE turbo off my Mark III Supra. So my Supra is kind of just chilling with no turbo right now. But it's kind of just for mock-up again, because the actual turbo I have for it, I have a GT45 RS somewhere in one of these boxes and stuff. I just moved, so but the inlets and outlets are pretty close. I'm kind of just mocking it up for the exhaust. It does still have a regular T4 flange on it, just like my GT45. It's oriented sideways, because CT26 turbo sets the other way on the manifold. But I have an adapter plate for it. It's fine. I'll probably have to move some exhaust, because I'm just going to get it running with this thing first. Probably put the GT45 on my Supra, and then buy some aftermarket turbo to put on this thing, because this is more going to be like a not really a horsepower monster, but kind of just a fun driver. So I mean, the actual CT26 is on there is not much smaller than what finished product will be. I don't plan on going crazy with it. It's just a fun car. Anyway, so had to order a flange and then weld to it. Looks like shit right now. All I have here at the house is a stick welder. So I'm stuck with a $20 Craigslist special Campbell house-filled welder. So I'm just kind of, there's like little spot welds all over everything. I'm just got to take it back to the shop and MIG it when I get there. And it kind of goes over, that's about 4 inches from the radiator. And then it goes in there in between the radiator and forward to the engine bay, about where the AC compressor sets. For mock-up, I picked up this, God, I don't know why anyone would use this anymore. I thought everybody would have a mandrel bin pipe by now, but for mock-up I'm using this, and then I go take it to my buddy at Meineke so he can bend me some aluminized piping with their mandrel bin. And then that will route forward here. I'll stick my hand through the other side. Through this area here, I got plenty of room. I'm going to heat wrap the exhaust anyways, and it'll come forward about to where the AC compressor used to be. And I've already got, I'm going to be using a twin turbo manifold on the driver's side of the engine and a stock manifold on the passenger side. I'm kind of going to do the exhaust almost like a Z31. I'll wrap the passenger side exhaust around to the driver's side, and then the TT manifold that's on there, I'll get a T3 flange for it, and then weld a T-pipe onto it, so I can bring the passenger side exhaust around to it, and then forward out of there to the exhaust on there. I understand that's not the most efficient there is. This is not meant to be efficient. If this was meant to be efficient, I'd be cutting giant holes in the car and putting twin GT35Rs on it and calling it done. This isn't going to be a 1,000 horsepower car. This is going to be a 400 horsepower to the wheels car that I can drive every day, that has nitrous on it for the track. And that's about it. This is not some giant monster build. This is a fun, easy to work on car. All the turbo and everything's here, and it's got a nice little Godspeed bar and plate intercooler. It's not big. Doesn't need to be. I've got my nitrous purge solenoid. I have the intercooler spray bar attached to it. Nitrous stuff is somewhere. It's probably in a box too. Thought I unpacked it though. Anyways, when we get that far, I'll document how I did that too. As of now though, just in the mock-up stage, we're getting all the exhaust routed and downpipe. The crappy thing is the CT26 has this offset 3-bolt downpipe, which, I don't know, I haven't decided between buying a divorced downpipe and just hacking it up, but that's like $200 down the drain, or buying just a standard, the 4-bolt flange that bolts to the back of the turbine housing, getting rid of the cast elbow that's on the stock CT26, and then build an exhaust from there. But for now, I think I'll just make a flange for the CT26 offset 3-bolt, and then just dump it out the bottom there, and then kick it off to the back. It's kind of still in the fabrication stage, so I'm not sure. And I'm almost done with the mount. I've got that at the shop to mount the turbo there. I've kind of just built a pedestal off the bottom there that comes up, comes across, turbo bolts to it, and then that's about where I'm at. Haven't got much of crap done. I'm a father now, so that's kind of, my wife went into labor, so I stopped making videos, so excuse me for, blanking out for a month or two there. I've been kind of occupied. But that's kind of where we're at. Oh, for the intake piping, the intake comes off the bottom here. It'll have to go down, go off to the side, come over, and then come up right here to the intercooler inlet. And then I'll bring it out of the outlet here, come up and around, go over up under the headlight assembly where the stock intake piping used to be. The stock intake piping was almost 3-inch pipe. I'm going to be using 2.5-inch because that's what my intercooler is in and out. And then once it comes out from under the headlight assembly there, I'll just turn it directly on the other side of the radiator here. And then, so since it'll be right here on the other side of the radiator, I'll swoop it over. I'll run my mass airflow here, because the CT26 has an internal wastegate and an external blow-off valve, and I'm not going to be recirculating it, so I have to run a blow-through MAF. I've tuned lots of blow-through MAF cars. They are kind of a pain, but once you get them running, they're usually pretty good, and as long as you don't have any oil seepage out the turbo seals, they normally last quite a while. So it'll come up, and then I'll run the two throttle body pipes together and then down. So another video soon. I'll get there when I get there. Alright.